Okay. And then we can, you know, we can start. It's the first one says we should develop key metrics for the business. And the key metrics is the same as KPIs, you know. So we want to be able to view, we want to be able to, you know, on the report page, which is this page where we are on this canvas here, or Canva, we want to be able to see all the different key metrics, which are the total sales, you know, total sales, total profit, total cost, profit margin, things like that are what you call your key metrics. Okay. So, and if we refer to our data analysis life cycle, it starts with objective. Okay. What's the objective of the project? The questions, the business questions that we are meant to answer. And then the data, we went on to understand the data. Then we loaded the data. And then we dealt with data quality issues. We also created our data model. Okay, so far we have actually enhanced what we were given has been well enhanced. You know, so far we created a date table using the date table code yesterday as well. Okay, so all our dimensions are fine. We've got all the tables. We've got the fact table in the middle. We've formed the star schema data model. Now we need to go into calculating our key metrics. Okay, so if you look here, if I go into this computer sales, okay, we have order quantity. So by the time we sum up all the numbers within this column, that will be the total order quantity, isn't it? We have cost of sales. By the time we sum up all of that, that's the total sales in this data set. We have total cost. Cost of sales is the same as the cost, what it costs the business to get those products. Then sales is how much we made after selling. Then, of course, we know profit is sales minus cost. Okay. So I think that so that we are not confused, this cost of sales, we can change the name of it. Okay. I'm suggesting that because that is cost of sales, this is sales. Okay. So I'm suggesting that we should go into Power Query and change the name of that column there. Instead of it being cost of sales, we just change it to sales. Okay, costs rather, cost price. You know, just change it to cost price. But I'm just gonna leave it as cost. So we know that that's cost, that's sales, that's profit. Okay, so we are not, and you can see that immediately I changed the name of that column. It's been that step was added. An extra step has been added called renamed column. We renamed the column. And if you look at this formula bar here, okay, it has gone on to use the function table.rename column, okay? And the last step is change type. So it's reference the last step. And then in this squiggly bracket, it's saying that formerly the name was cost of sales. Now we have changed it to cost, okay? So that is what that is about. I'm going to close and apply this, and then we go back into Power BI. You know, it's loaded, and yeah, you can see that change has been acknowledged there. Okay, so we are just now going to we are going to start simple calculations of summing all of those KPIs that we talked about. Okay, now what we're about to start creating are calculations called measures. Measures like measuring something. Like I'm measuring something. That's the spelling, measures. Okay, and we calculate measures using what we call DAX in Power BI, data analysis expression. Okay, so let's say that I come into computer sales table, or I create a new table. Okay, I want to create a new table. This table, I want you to house, to be where all my calculations that I'm about to start making now. I want them to reside here. I don't want them just, floating around anyhow. So all the calculations, the KPIs are going to reside here, and we can call these key measures. Key measures, that's the name of this table. Okay, and I'm just gonna load it. And if you look at the right hand, the extreme right hand side there, that table has been added. Can you see it here? Key measures. Okay, now if I expand it, it's just one empty column. That's nothing is in this column one that we saw on it. Okay, so we can ignore that for now. All right, so the measures I'm going to create, they are all going to be created inside this table for them to reside in. Okay, so there's 3 dots. Each time you hover or click on the tables on your right hand side here, those 3 ellipses, the 3 dots, they would appear. And when you click on the 3 dots, you see a whole lot of actions that you can take. Select, what do you want to select? Is it that you want to create new measure or new column? Because you can create new column within a table. Okay, a new quick measure. We'll talk about quick measure at some point. Maybe you want to refresh. You can refresh. You can edit query. You can edit and go back into Power Query. You can manage relationships. You can do quite a lot. You can rename, you can delete, you can hide, that table. Okay, but what we need right now is this one here called new measure. So I click on that new measure, and the formula bar opens up just like you would have in Excel, So, and it's asking measure equals, because we clicked on measure, it's naming it measure. Okay, but we've got to give it a proper name. Which measure are we about to create now? Okay, so I'm just going to say total order quantity. Total order quantity. I want to total all the quantities. Order quantity. Quantity equals, and immediately you type equals, and I want to type sum. Okay, I type S, and all the different functions that start with S are called up. Okay, all these are formulas. Same period last year, sample, search, second, select, columns, different, all starting with S. But I'll type U, and now it's gone on to highlight the first U there, and I'll say sum, and now it's shortened the list. So we now have sum, summarize, column, sum X. Okay, what we need is this sum here. So I pick that. Immediately you pick that, you see this dialog box here is saying that what column do you want to sum? Sum, then column name. That we should put the column name that we want to sum in there. We pick it, and there's a whole lot of options. All the columns within each of the tables. The first ones that it has brought us is all the computer sales data table. Again, if you notice something, the way that Power BI names a column, it would first reference the name of the table where the column is found. For example, brand, first it comes with the whole table, computer sales data, that's a whole table there. Then it starts to in alphabetical order, I believe. It starts to name, list each of the columns that you find within that table. We have brand name, channel, city, cost, okay, country, and so on and so forth. It lists all of that. And after computer sales, it will then go on to the next one. It's brought key measures as a table. If we want to pick a column from it, then products and the product subcategory, then the products and the product's name, channel, all the tables and the columns that they have, it will list all of them for you, even the date table and the region as well. It's listing all of them. So it's now left for us to pick the one that we want to calculate now. Right now, because I've said total order quantity, which means I need this other quantity here. So I pick that and I'm going to close the bracket and press enter for this green tick here. Okay. And that calculation is done. Okay. And we can see under measure tools, because we've created a measure. So this additional button is added for us. We can see the name of the measure is total order quantity, home table. Okay, it's saying that it's gone on to put this this measure in the channel table, but that's not what I want. I thought I clicked on key measures. I want you to reside on key measures. So I'll click on key measures. That's where it is meant to reside. Can you see the way I changed the home table? If I want it not to be in key measure, in the key measures table, and I want it to be in the computer sales table, I will change it and they will take it right there. Can you see? It's brought it to the computer sales table. Okay, but I want it under key measures for real. So I'll put it under key measures and it's back to the key measures. So if I collapse these ones, so under key measures table, when we created it, you had column 1, which is an empty column, okay? And now that we've created a measure to reside in it called total order quantity, okay? We can see it as the second column there. Now, because this column 1 is empty, it's not adding anything. It's nothing at all to us. I'm going to delete it from the model, okay? So now all we have, okay, is the total order quantity as a measure. And you would wonder that, what is this calculator sign that it has? That's a sign there to show us that this is a measure, okay? If you look at each of the, let's go into the computer sales table. Brand name has nothing in front of it. So anything that's text doesn't have any symbol in front of it. But number has this summation sign, this sigma sign, okay, just to let us know that the data type of it is number. It can be it can be summed up. The same goes for order quantity, profit, sales, and then year. Okay. Order date has nothing in front of it as well. So, but measure has calculator in front of it. Okay, so that is worthy of taking note of. Okay, so and one way to validate that, okay, now that I've created this total order quantity, let me see if what I've created has anything in it. I'll choose a card visual here and I will click on the total order quantity and see if it came up with anything. Okay. So yes, I've got 251,000, 251K. So 251,000 orders, quantities of products were bought or were sold within that within this data set that we are looking at. Okay, cool. So I can see that there is an answer. It's not blank. And that I can validate that. I'll leave that alone like that. And because I've done a few more works, so I'm going to save this. Let's not forget that Power BI doesn't have autosave. Okay, now we've created total order quantity. There's more. We need to calculate total cost. Okay, So we come back to that table where we want the total cost to be, which is this key measure. I click on the 3 dots and again, new measure, because it's a measure that we are calculating, okay? And now it is total cost that I'm calculating. So total cost equals sum, because we are summing, okay? Sum, and it is in computer sales table, and this is it, cost here. I'll close that bracket and click enter or that, okay? And again, we can see the information for it. The name of it is total cost. It's a measure within the key measures table. That's the home table. I didn't say about the format, the data type. It's currency because it's money. Okay, so and it's got 1,000 separator, the comma there. Okay, and it's got we don't. It's not really necessarily picked how many decimal places, but because it's currency, I want to believe it will give us 2 decimal places, but you can see a few functions here that you can change as you want. Okay, so we can check this with another card. Okay, another card visual. So total cost, I click on that and we can see that we have 19.8 million as the total cost. Okay, so cool. That's not bad. Okay, we keep calculating this small, not small, simple. We keep making this simple DAX calculation. Can we still hear me? Because it looks like my internet is unstable.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. So
yeah,
then we
can hear you, ma. I wanted to ask a question, ma.
Yes, please.
For some reason, maybe if we do this one now, I can see we have gone to measure, but when it's time to visualize, I don't know what you've been clicking.
Okay.
It now brings out that small box for the total. Thank you.
All right. No problem at all. All right. So total sales now is what we are going to calculate. Again, what we did before, where we say sum, because we are summing. Okay, we call up the sum, and now it is sales that we need. I believe sales is, if we scroll down a little bit, yeah, we need this. We close the bracket and we enter or click that green thing. Okay, now I've been clicking on, if we look at the visualization here, we come down to all of the different visuals that we have the option of. Okay, as you hover over each one, it gives you the name of it. This tiny one here is the stacked bar chart. This is the stacked column chart. This is the clustered bar chart. Each one of them have their own use, okay? So you hover on each one. We have the line chart. We have the area chart. We have the donut chart, the pie chart, the funnel, and so on, okay, with the different maps, tree map, field map, all of the Azure maps, gauge. So you wouldn't necessarily need all of these. Maybe you need them at different points in your work. It depends on what you are trying to make. Now, to visualize single, like a one information data, it's always good to use this one here called card. So we have the card, this new one. We also have card. So they are both cards. Let's click on this. I click on this and say select. Okay. So the same thing that they are both visualizing. Well, I'm using this particular card now, and this one was this card. Okay, they are both performing the same functions. Okay, don't be surprised with the way this one just displayed so many decimal places. But that's not, I think that's to do with what? Maybe the kind of card. I'm not too sure about the difference between these two. I'm just used to using the the old one, this one without the yellow thing, you know, at the top of it there. This old one here, I'm used to that. I just go for that. I don't bother myself with the other
I think
one.
the new one. I think the new one shows all the digits, all the numbers, and everything.
Okay.
But the
The
old
old
one
one,
just shows the amount.
it brings it down to 1 decimal place, or
It's one
I mean
decimal. So the other one shows all the numbers.
all the
Maybe someone is
numbers.
asking for all what is the total number? You know, instead of giving them is 19.8, you start telling them it's 19.802388, something like that. So I
Right,
think that's the difference. It will still
right.
show the same thing.
Thank you. Okay. So you can choose whichever one you want to use. Okay, but that's what I clicked on. Is this card visuals here. We also have the one called multi-row card. Okay. It's also a kind of card, but you can use it to display more than one. Okay. You know, the former ones we have been using displays only one information, but the multi one, you can use it to display different ones. You can put sales in it. You can put other quantity. You can also put cost. Okay, so that one, if this is the way you want to showcase your work all together within one card, yes, that's the one that you should use. But if you want each of them to be displayed as a single element, then the card is your go-to. I haven't displayed this yet, so yes. So I hope you get that part now.
Yes, ma, I do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So now we are gradually finishing the first part of the question, which is that we should display the key metrics. Okay. Now I concern myself with finishing with all the calculations needed before doing the beautifying your dashboard, choosing the color, you know, and arranging them and aligning them in a really nice way. That's the last part, okay, that I concern myself with. But the actual work of, you know, getting all the necessary calculations in, I try to sort those first, okay. And then what other metric? Profit. Yes, we need profit. We also need profit margin, okay. So profit, exactly what we've been doing so far. We have a column called profit. Okay, so we create a new measure, okay, and we call it total profit. So total profit equals, again, we call the sum up, and then we go for the profit. That's too much. We go for the profit. Let me come this way. Yeah. The profit column, we close that bracket and we press enter. Okay. Then we do the profit margin. Okay. Profit margin is normally when you divide your profit by sales as a ratio or a percentage, I believe. So new measure, profit margin. Profit margin equals, so we divide. So now we have total profit, we have total sales already as measures. Can you see them here? We have total sales, we have total profit. We can reuse our measures. There's a name for it, which I can't remember. Okay, you can, a measure that you have created already, you can use it to create another measure. You see, that's what we are going to do now. So two ways that you can divide in DAX. I can decide to say total profit. You see, immediately I start to type, all the measures are called up, all the measures that we have already created. Okay, total profit divided by this slash sign here. Okay, divided by total sales. So total sales. Okay, I do that. Press enter. okay? And because it's a percentage, I will change it to percentage using this percentage up here, okay? So if that's one way to do it. If I bring up 2 card visuals, one for profit and one for profit margin, one for profit and one for the profit margin, okay? So you can see our KPIs, we can see total order quantity. If you want to tell a story with this, the story will start with it cost us to get the products, this much products, okay? This much products cost us, I don't know which should come first, but yeah, this much product cost us this much to buy, but we sold it for this much, and we made a profit of this. And if we look at the margin, the profit ratio, you know, this is what it has given us. Okay, so I think I will, yeah, you would always need the money to buy first before you now go and buy the quantity of products that you buy. So I think I'm right the way I've properties 165. I want to conform the height of the other ones to this height here. So I've come to general under the paintbrush, general and properties, and you can see the height and width, you know, of this one that's highlighted is 165 by 221. So if I click on this as well, I want it to be 165 by 221 as well. Okay, so I change that to 221. And I change this also to 221. And I change this also to 165 by 221. And I want this changed to 221 as well. Okay, so then we can position them. We're not really arranging just yet. I just want us to see that they can all be on the same, you see, on the same plane like that. Okay, okay. So the way that we created this profit margin, this is one way to do a divide function. But sometimes when you divide, and you are dividing in a way that it would give you 0. Or, you know, back in the day when we used to say something divided by something is impossible. So just to erase scenarios where the answer your division gives you is not a very straightforward answer, we try not to use this method for division. It's not wrong. It's just you want to work in a more efficient way. So rather than do this, I would say I'm changing the same thing, okay, so that we don't waste space. So I will start with divide. I will call up the divide function, okay? So I'm saying divide. Now, when you see the divide, the bracket opened, we see the dialog box here asking, what should be my numerator? The one on top, total profits, okay? That's my numerator. Then comma, what should be the one below, denominator? Total sales, okay? Then comma. Now there is now a third option of alternate result. Okay, you can leave it. It's not compulsory. Okay, you can leave it or you can put 0 there. That if the answer is given you is a weird one, just leave it as 0. So that way it doesn't give your result is not skewed in any way. And that should not keep an eye on this. That should not change our result in any way, okay? So I commit that, okay? And it's retaining, it didn't take off the percentage. So you remember we changed it to a percentage because it's profit margin. Okay, so it retains that. So the second way this way that we have done this division is a more efficient way of dividing in your Power BI. However, the first one wasn't wrong at all. So we should take note of that. Okay, so that's question 1 sorted. Now we can see as a business, we can see that actually we spent 19.8 million in getting 251,000 products. Okay, and I think
the products should come first. Because if you don't know the products, how do you know the price? You have to know the products first before you know the price.
You know, I don't think it would really
products will
matter.
come first.
I don't think it would matter. These two.
It does. It does. If you don't know the product, manufacturer will tell you the price for their product. So you know the product first, then you get the price.
Okay.
Then
so
you purchase.
Okay. So you've packed together 251,000 products. Now you have paid 19.8 million. Let's assume. And now you are making after you have sold, everything that came in was 55.39 million. By the time you removed sales price from costs or cost from the sales price, you are left with 35.53 million as your profits. And that gave you a margin of 64.25. That's not bad at all for a business. So at a glance, if you are able to present this to the CEOs, the senior management, that so far between 2018 or February 2018 and February 2021, this is how we did as a business. At a glance, high level analysis, this is what I'm able to whip up for you. Okay, that's something. You see, you have given them some degree of information. What that tells them, what that would tell a typical business brain is that, okay, if I want to make 100% margin, 100% profit margin next year, what should it means? I need to I should be thinking of increasing total order quantity, quantities that people will order from us. If we try and push it to something very close to almost like 500K, which means that will cost us about almost like 40 million to get. But if we're able to do that, we'll reckon like 100 million or something in that region. You know, very quick mental calculation is giving you ideas as a business because you are seeing evidence with data. Okay, and as a team, you are thinking, okay, for us to be able to achieve selling that double, which means we need to tell our marketing team to, push products more. We need to study our customer base. What exactly did they buy more? Blah, 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 blah. All these questions start to come up, and it would, in the end, help the business to make the right decision. That would help that will help make more money. I hope all of this is making sense.
It is
making a lot of sense.
Okay. So we are gradually getting there. That is question 1 done. We are not going to go into question 2 today because of time. Okay. But I'm glad that this is finally sorted. Okay. Question 2, we are going to be performing comparison analysis within product categories and countries. Which countries gave the highest sales? Which product category gave the highest sales? Which gave the lowest? You see, that's what we'll be doing next, and that will be what we start with by tomorrow. And for comparison analysis, the graphs, the visuals we normally would use will be any of your bar charts or your column charts. Okay, bar charts are the one that are, and when you told you see those are the bar charts. The column ones are the ones that are standing. Okay, like columns, they are standing. That's how you differentiate them. We will also do a trend analysis of which periods, how did profits and sales go, you know, within the different maybe months or the different years within the data set. Okay. Do we have any questions? Let me stop recording. Do we have any questions?